welcome. I'm Reg.
I'm Rob.
This is the show. What's going on today, man?
Not too much, man. Just anxious to get to tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day.
What happens tomorrow?
Mom hits the big 7-0.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Maria Taylor. That's great, man. Those milestones, you can't put a price on them, man. You can't.
No, you don't give it really any thought until it's there, and you're like, wait a minute, really? Like,
yeah. Well, here's the thing. When did you realize your mom was old? Like, what year was that?
Actually, it wasn't too long ago.
Okay.
It wasn't too long ago. I was probably like early 40s, like the 60th birthday. It was like, she's getting up there.
It's just kind of like, wait a minute.
She's getting up there, you know. Yeah. But it's good. It's good. So,
well, like I told you, with my mom, I had a conversation with her. I said, I don't really think of you as old. There's only really one aspect of you that's old, and that's that phone, man. Those phones give it away every time.
I try to keep my mom up to date on the phones, and she always reminds me she's not old, she's just older.
Yeah, I understand.
So
at least she don't have consumer cellular, right?
No. She didn't go there.
Yeah. Well, we got a good show tonight. We got to finish this Kobe LeBron debate. I did a little research, so I think I'm in pretty good shape, but we'll see. Got to talk Texas, Bama.
You're missing one key component in that, but
I'm gonna let you go first when we get there.
I'll save it.
Save it like the big joker, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Got to talk some surprises of NFL Week 1. Every Week 1 is always gonna have surprises. You're always gonna have your fake contenders, aka pretenders. You're always gonna have the teams you expected to come out strong start flat. So we'll talk a little bit about that. But first, I'm gonna talk a sport we haven't really dove into. Got to talk about my girl Coco Gauff, U.S. Open champion. Did you watch a second of the match?
No. No. And actually, so I heard she won, and I'm like, that's dope. Yeah. That's dope. And then I try to think about the last time I watched women's tennis. And it's been a minute. It has been a minute. I mean, yeah, it was the Serena dynasty, and it was probably when she was playing her sister, like one of the last times she was playing her sister, like in a semifinal.
Yeah.
That was like,
that's been a few years, man. That could be like 6 years ago.
It's been a long time.
Yeah,
it's been a long time. But and I started thinking about, like, growing up, we watched it. We watched, everything from Navratilova, on up, and I was like, wow, I didn't watch any of it. Like, I mean, granted, I was busy. This whole parenting thing, man, is killing. Like, if we would have did this when I was a single man and consuming sports nonstop, now it's like, kids got band competitions and club meetings, and it's like, man. But no, I did not see it. I did not watch a second of it. I just heard about it. The household was excited, of course.
Of course.
Because my wife told me about it. And so, but I did not watch a second of it. Not one.
Well, you're one of the few, at least ESPN got its highest ratings in the U.S. Open final with that Coco match. So that was interesting. Good. I think tennis is in good hands. I think Coco is really likable. I'm not
Mhm.
looking forward to when the media turns on her. But you know it's going to happen. It's
Yes,
inevitable.
it's coming. It's
So,
coming.
so the building up is happening now.
Mhm.
Then once we get to the peak, you know they're going to try to tear her down. But she, very deserving champion. I think the reason why I got invested in it so much was just I saw when she lost the French Open when she just got dominated, and I just you see her hard work. So very happy for Coco. Was all over it on Twitter. So
Mhm.
people that follow me on Twitter know, um, I was into the Coco match. Glad for the result. So
Yeah.
let me hop to Death Taxes Bama. And you asked me on Saturday, was it death or was it taxes? So Bama lost. What's your thoughts on that?
I I would chalk it up under taxes.
Mm-hmm.
It's Bama. It's
Mm-hmm.
early in the year. If you're going to get Bama, this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
Unless you're just a superior team, which that's only been Georgia lately.
Right.
So yeah, this is the time to get them. And hey, Texas played a great game. Alabama made mistakes and they lost.
Yeah. That QB position, man, and you look at the NFL, we already talked about it. I mean, Jalen Hurts, Tua,
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones, Bryce Young. I mean, you got 4 starters in the league from one program. And now you got the new guy, Milrow. I mean, he's could be a solid college quarterback, but he's not in that class. So
Well, they got one on the way.
they got one on the way.
They got one on the way. So
Yeah.
maybe it's
I
just
mean, they always gonna have one on the way,
a
but I just
stopgap
think
here.
they're gonna have to do it with defense. And I thought the defense actually looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, but
Probably the best Bama defense in a while. So
hey, you give up turnovers more times than not.
turnovers, key
Yeah.
situations. I mean, they took the lead. Texas came, Texas was impressive. Let me give Texas a little credit. I mean, the only thing about Texas that will probably be disappointing is they probably won't run the table in the Big 12. And so that'll make things interesting. Um, I don't they weren't dominant, but you could tell Sark's got his stamp on
Yeah.
there. And obviously Texas should have a bunch of talent.
Yeah.
It's Texas.
Yes.
So
Yes. High school football is king. Yes,
yeah,
they should have a bunch of talent there.
should be overflowing. So I'm not ready to put the dirt on Bama yet. I definitely don't think it's death, but I
No,
think Bama's
it's
gonna
not
have
bad.
to they're going to bring it the rest of the season. So
Well, it's probably not going to matter because if you get to Georgia and that's your second L, chances are you're not participating in the playoffs.
well, that's they kind of have to do what they did a couple years ago, which is go ahead and win the SEC championship, and that probably means beating Georgia. So
Yeah.
I don't see anybody else in the East that's going to mess with Georgia. I mean, Tennessee,
Yeah.
Florida's not ready.
Oh.
Um, there's nobody in the East. Missouri,
No,
South
no one in
Carolina.
the no,
There's nobody in
no.
the East.
It'll be
So
Georgia versus whoever comes out the West, and we'll go from there.
and Bama's got to beat LSU. And I don't care if Auburn's 1-10 going into the Auburn Alabama.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter. That's
Yeah, it's
going
a
to be
rivalry game.
a
That's
dog
that's
fight.
what it is. It will always be that. It doesn't matter. Yeah, one's here and one's here. When it's the rivalry game, everybody's here.
Yep. The whole season's on the line. Auburn, Alabama. So we'll see. My top 6. Just run through it real quick. Georgia, Michigan, Florida State. So my top 3 didn't change. I moved USC up, and I got Texas 5th, and I got Ohio State 6th. So that's where I am on my top 6.
Yeah, I'm leery the 2 Big Ten teams in the 6. Ohio State is. I mean, I get it, but I don't know. Last week I wasn't sold on Florida State, but I mean, it's where we're at right now.
It is.
But
what you think about the Pac-12? I mean, I know we talked Deion, but man, they got 8 teams in the top 25.
Washington and Penix, man. I'm starting to buy. I'm starting to buy, and it's not like they have a great team or whatever, but I do think they can score on anyone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for everyone else, you're gonna have to be on your game.
Yeah.
And
so shootouts.
USC is USC. Lincoln's putting that together like I thought he would.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we still think they can be beat up physically, but skill positions, it's a nice thing.
Yeah.
Nice
I
thing.
just, is Utah, are they just the bully waiting?
We'll see. We will see. We will see. We will see. Because that was the thing last year. It's like, no, we're gonna hit you in the mouth.
Right.
Let's see what you do. And they didn't respond well.
Didn't respond. I'll tell you the other thing. What's crazy about all of these programs, Caleb transfer from Oklahoma. Penix transfer from Indiana. Bo Nix transfer from Oregon.
From Auburn.
Oh, Auburn. You're right. DJ went from Clemson to Oregon State. I mean, all of these programs are being led by guys that didn't start there.
Yeah.
And of course, Shador, I can't forget about him transferring from Jackson State.
Making big noise. They're making big noise. And what about everything being out there this week? So you got College Game Day is going to be out there. Oh, like what news? There's a news show going out
60
there.
Minutes is going out there.
It's like
First Take is going out there.
Yeah. It's like, hey.
Deion does what he does.
Yeah, this is what they paid for.
This is what he does. Like, the AD said, hey, we're going to ink this deal. We don't really have the money yet. Well, they're going to end up with the money because Deion is making sure they get the money. So Deion, it's just like that old Pizza Hut commercial, right? 20 million, 15 million? How about both? Deion going to get his money if there's one thing that's going to happen. So,
yeah.
I love the spotlight. To me, this is a trap game. But now that the coach said, we'll talk about that next week.
It was a trap game. It was a trap game. Yeah, it was a trap game until about 3 hours ago.
Full attention now on Colorado State. So, anything else college football you want to talk?
No, not really. I like to watch the quarterbacks, the ones that get the hype. So, the kid from North Carolina.
He's legit.
Yeah, he can spin it. Spin it. I'm just watching him to see how he navigates the season.
Yeah. He got a big one this week. I mean, it's odd big one, but Minnesota is not.
Yeah.
It's not like a cupcake in the ACC,
Yeah. Yeah, but
how about Appalachian State almost beating North Carolina last week though? That's crazy.
Hey, they went at it last year, so
they did.
Yeah, so and it's all in-state kids going at each other. So
yep. Mac Brown said, "I've had my fill. East Carolina, North Carolina State. Y'all can have them now."
Yeah,
he's done with that. What other QBs have caught your attention so far?
So like that was the main one I was watching because all the hype or whatnot. I still keep an eye on your boy Rattler.
Yeah, big one for him this week.
Interesting, just case studies. Like as of right now, there's like no way I would entrust my franchise with him. But I'm just curious to watch him how he navigates things. I mean, you had your name run through the mud. You had some turmoil. See if you could get back focused, just playing football and doing just football stuff and staying out of the baggage claim area.
You know, they got Georgia this week. So all the NFL scouts going to be on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is his proving game right here.
He can make himself some money. Himself some money because
he
people
can move up a couple.
Talking about him. And it's like,
I just find it interesting that every year the quarterback classes are touted as the best. You know, this is the best. You know, so we got Caleb and we got Drake, and now you got Shador moving up a little bit this class, and you already had some pretty good ones. I mean, Penix is getting his name out there now, so we'll see. You know, it's always interesting. You know, in September it seems like there's about 7 or 8 quarterbacks, and then when we get to April, it dwindles. So, hey,
hola.
So let's talk this NFL, man, because you know I can't let you off the hook, man. I can't let you off the hook.
Hey, man, the worst fears came through. Hey, they ran the ball down our throat.
They did.
It was bad. So, yeah, the acquisitions, the inside linebacker, it really didn't matter. It really didn't matter. And then Hayward went out, and it was like, this isn't going to be good, and it wasn't.
Let me ask you a question. What's your level of concern?
So, like, we haven't discussed this on air, but like, you know, the concerns. I mean, like, the run game has always been a concern.
Right.
Matt Canada is a concern. So, yeah, and both of them are pretty alarming. So, I mean, I did not expect us to look that bad on offense. So I'm kind of just chalking that up as like, that was just a bad game. That was a bad game. But yeah, if we're throwing the ball 40 times a game, we're not going to win many of them.
Well, I'm going to share this with you. While I was sitting in Lucas Oil, I got some text messages from my boy KK, and he sent one that said, Rob's boy Pickett struggling. I said, "Are we talking about Pickens?" He said, "No, man, he's a Steelers fan. He got to claim all of them." So that's what he said about you. He was talking bad about you, I will say, but you know, KK likes the Bears though, so he wasn't talking too bad about you because he knows it's coming back. But
yeah. We know where home is. But no, it was bad. I was sitting here watching it, drinking excessively watching it because it was bad. It was just bad. It's like, wow.
You know what was crazy about that, which is to me, was how early you knew it was going down. It was like it might have been the first Niners drive. You're like, well,
running the ball down our throat is just like. So I have a buddy of mine, Franchek. He lives in Pittsburgh. He's from Pittsburgh. Met him at IU. So like we talk constantly on Sundays, and it's like we both knew the preseason was too good to be true. And it's like that scares me. It was so good,
right?
And we saw it. We saw it this week. It's like all the bad stuff was exposed. It's like we can't stop the run. And therefore, we're not putting anyone. Yeah, everything was 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3. So you can't turn Watt loose. Therefore, we can't create turnovers, and we don't have the ball.
Right. And then when you did have the ball, you weren't doing anything with it anyway.
No. Which San Fran has a good defense. I mean, we've talked about
we talked at length.
The team is good. We know.
Are we going to go to Brock Purdy, man? Because he was talking crazy. He got Patrick Peterson now. He did.
Yeah, no, he did. But Peterson almost got his pick, though.
He
almost did. He had his pick. He dropped it. He had his pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is talking crazy. But it's all fun and games, man, till you get smacked in the mouth. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Because it's going
Well, I don't see him getting smacked this week, although the Rams did surprise us last week.
Man. Yeah, you talking about killing my pick'em on Yahoo. Golly.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you one last question on this Niners-Steelers game. You still think the Niners not going to win 10?
I'm sticking with it. It's only week one. It's only week one.
Okay.
Now,
I'm going to tell you how much I agree with you. I think the Niners going to win 10. Okay. So I'm out of that. But my one and done this week is the Pittsburgh Steelers at home against Cleveland. I'm like, come on now. It's Cleveland. How can Cleveland be favored on a Monday night game?
That is crazy.
In Pittsburgh.
That is crazy. I was like,
favorite on the road to a team you historically struggle with.
I understand that. Yes, you looked good against the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, I take that back. The Bengals looked real awful. Whether it was the Browns or whatnot, they looked real awful. Mm-hmm. We're not.
I'm chalking that up to Burrow rust, but I'm also chalking it up to Cleveland has something against the Bengals that other teams don't have. I mean, sometimes teams have your number. I think the Browns have the Bengals number. The Bengals typically have the Ravens number, and the Steelers typically have the Browns number. So, I just can't see it. And I know those guys in Vegas, they know what they're doing. So, that -2, though, it just got me. I don't know. What do they see that I don't see?
So they're basically saying they're going to win by 5 because home team.
Basically.
3.
Yep.
Yeah. But y'all are favored on the road.
Well, that's changing. I think there's some people I think it's Houston -1 now. Because I saw Indy was favored, and then the last look I just had Houston's favored by 1. So which is okay with me. That's okay with me.
It'll be an interesting game for you all.
It definitely will be. Young QBs. I told you the defense for the Indianapolis Colts is not too bad. We got 2 great interior linemen.
You do have that.
We got a beast at linebacker, and you thought it was Shaq Leonard, but it's really Zaire. Mm-hmm. I told you about EJ. The only thing that is a little scary is DBs, but they did a good job. I mean, Calvin Ridley is ridiculous. Okay, I can give you some takeaways from that game. Number 1, Trevor Lawrence threw some passes that is just too bad. It's canceled Christmas. There's nothing you can do. You put it only where his guy can get it. And Calvin Ridley is a beast. And that does add an aspect to Jacksonville that's going to be difficult.
I completely forgotten about that at the trade deadline last year. And then this summer, it's like Calvin Ridley. I was like, wait.
Yes. They snuck Calvin in.
Yeah.
Christian Kirk did so great last year. You didn't hear anything from him. And I think Zay Jones is the new player I hate from opposing teams because it just seems like back-breaking catches is Zay Jones. It's like, what in the world, man? But I was okay with the opener. Nobody wants to lose. I thought Richardson did a good job. You can't expect him to go unscathed. I mean, the interception was going to happen, especially once we got to a point where he was going to have to force some things. That was predictable.
Especially to that wideout core.
Right. Well, I know, but Pittman actually looked pretty good. So, and I like Josh Downs. I do like Josh Downs. The only thing I don't like about Josh Downs is he's a little smaller than I want him to be. But
I
But
could
he's a
swear
good
that
player.
dude was not that small. He just seemed bigger at North Carolina.
He did.
It's like, wait, he's how tall?
I think the other thing that's going to help us, just like Philly had a crew of tight ends, I think eventually our tight ends are going to be a big part of our passing game. So we'll see. We don't have Jelani Woods yet, so we get him game 5 hopefully. So I'm expecting a bounce back. I'm expecting the defense to carry us to victory week 2. So
okay.
What you think about tonight's matchup? You got Minnesota, Philly. Philly's favored by 6.
I got Philly.
You taking the 6?
Yeah, I'm taking the 6. Taking the 6. Yeah, I just think they'll get to the point where they put the game on Cousins, and
Oh,
you know how I feel about
so
that.
you think a defensive touchdown seals it or
Yeah,
puts it in the spot where?
yeah. I mean, yeah, the defensive line is still ridiculous. I mean, that was.
Did you see Jalen Carter, man?
Yes, I did. It's just like
scary.
Like who needed that? Like
Right.
Who needed that?
The last team that needed to pick them up.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like, yeah, now we're gonna rough you up even more now.
Right. Just ugly.
Yeah, I'm taking Philly. I'll take Philly.
I'll take Philly. I'm gonna take the 6. I'm gonna take the 6. I think you're gonna see, even though they probably needed a full week of practice, the short week kind of hurts them a little bit, but I just think, well, number one, those Thursday night games really do favor the home team to me. But and then it's a good home team. It's not like it's an average home team. It's somebody that's really good. Minnesota, man, my NFC North pick might be 0-2 after tonight. Probably will be. So, hey, but
we'll
I can't let you get off the hook. I can't let you get off the hook with one of my picks. What you think about them Atlanta Falcons?
Oh no, I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned about that. I mean, they won, but yeah,
1-0, baby.
Yeah, I know.
And favored against Green Bay, which I'm another head scratcher.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on here? It's like, did we watch the same stuff? Like, yeah.
I think it's funny.
It's a good
text me in the middle of the game. Yeah. You said Desmond Ridder is like 8 for 10 for 24 yards.
Yeah. Screen pass.
Yeah, that's taking the short passing game a little too far. So
extended handoff.
They need to work on that. So So I picked my one and done for week 2, Pittsburgh Steelers. Who you got?
I'm taking Houston.
Okay.
I'm taking Houston at home. I'm taking Houston at home.
Okay.
I'm taking Houston at home.
Now,
I took Seattle last week. That was done. That was horrible.
Yeah.
Going back and forth to that game, like, is this really happening? Like, dude, they got someone else to score. Yeah, that was bad. But I'm going Houston this week.
Okay. I got the Steelers, and I'm going to talk bad about you next week after the Colts beat the Texans. Seattle, man, they really took a step back to me. But like we said, week 1 doesn't tell the whole story, but that was a disappointment.
Yeah, it can serve as a wake-up call.
Mm-hmm.
It can serve as a wake-up call. At least that's what I'm hoping for my Steelers. There's a wake-up call. Like, it's not going to be all easy.
I'm definitely thinking Pittsburgh is going to be ready for this Cleveland game.
Yeah.
Also thinking that Cleveland might be a little comfortable in the way they handled the Bengals. I just, obviously they get up for Pittsburgh, so it doesn't matter. But I got a question for you. Seattle's going to Detroit. We both kind of poo-poo Detroit, but actually we said all the signs pointed to Detroit, but we still went with Kansas City.
Yeah, they were still Detroit. Yeah.
So are they still Detroit? Are they going to back up the week 1 win?
That's in Detroit.
Right.
Yeah, I think they take care of Seattle. I think they showed enough in the KC game that I would take them over Seattle this week. I wouldn't have said that last week, but
okay,
this week, yeah.
Well, Seattle surprised us. We thought Seattle will look a little bit better week 1, but we'll see week 2. What big game this week? Jacksonville hosts Kansas City. They got a chance to make Kansas City 0-2, but isn't Kelsey back this week?
I don't know. Look, so they said he could be, but like some doctor was like, with all that blood that they drained from there, no, he's not going to be ready. But
so what about Chris Jones? You think Chris Jones makes a difference?
Oh yeah, he'll make a difference, but he would have made a difference against Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Jacksonville. It's not the same thing. Like, Detroit is like, yeah, we want to run, we want to do this, and that's what they're built on. So like, if he plays, he's a factor in that.
Mm-hmm.
Gibbs isn't running wild and whatnot. But this week, I mean, he could be a factor in the pass rush, but I don't think it'd be as much of a factor. But it doesn't. I don't care if Kansas City starts like 0-4. It's not going to matter.
Nah.
Because in the end, like, eventually everyone's going to be healthy and everyone's going to be on the same page. And Kadarius Toney will find his hands. And
oh, that was bad. That was bad.
Awful. That was awful.
I am partial to Project Pat. Everybody knows that. But that interception, I mean, I think everybody in the nation could see, okay, that was supposed to be a completion. Then it ends up being a pick 6. So
yeah, no, it was bad, man.
That was bad.
Yeah, he's gonna have to bounce back from that. It'll be interesting to see, you're the first round pick, one team that already gave up on you. You land in the greatest spot possible with that QB and that offensive mind, and you can't do that.
No.
You can't just like I dropping everything and now I'm alligator arms, and yeah, you can't do that. So it'll be interesting to see how he bounces back. But like I said, KC could start 0-4. It's like
it sounds like you picking Jacksonville this week.
Actually, I'm not. I'm just saying it doesn't matter. Like it's a big game for Jacksonville. It's not as big for KC.
Okay. Other big games. I don't think we can escape this without talking about Aaron Rodgers and the sadness of Monday night. But the Jets ended up beating the Bills, which was crazy.
Yes, and that was crazy. But
now they go to Dallas, and Dallas's defense look like world beaters against your boy Danny Dimes. And now they get Zach Wilson. So is it safe to say the Cowboys are going to be 2-0?
Yeah, that mess that worked against Buffalo is not going to work against Dallas.
Nah.
I mean, and who would ever think we'd be saying stuff like that? Buffalo has Josh Allen.
By the way, Josh Allen, is the media giving him a pass? Because that was a terrible game.
Yeah, he's getting a pass. But I'm trying to figure out where do we lay blame at? Like, was Dabble that great, or has he hit his ceiling? And this is it.
I just think it's a case of he tried to do too much. 2 of his interceptions, those 2 deep ball interceptions were just straight forcing the ball. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So
that was stunning that the Jets still won, but no, there's no belief in Zach Wilson. I think the Cowboys will put them behind the 8 ball early, and at that point, I mean, But there was a whole lot of funny stuff that came out on the internet with that Jets game. Oh my! The Rodgers stuff, the Wilson stuff, like the Peyton Manning comments. That
Yeah.
was he's like, no, he should only throw it like 3 more times.
Peyton was not a fan.
No, you can't blame him. You can't blame him. Like you can see it. Like he's still not ready.
Well, that was the ironic thing is we talked about this last week, and you said he'll be great for Wilson, and I jumped on Garrett Wilson, and you said no, I meant Zach.
Yeah, now but he's not ready. Yeah, it's like he didn't pick up the lesson that fast. Like, no, he needs to sit there for about 2 years, and I think he'll be okay. But yeah, being pressed into service right now, that's not that. I don't know. I haven't paid attention to the wire today. Did they get the veteran QB? Did they sign Colt McCoy?
I haven't heard anything of them signing anybody. They're pretty solidly behind Zach. I don't know what they're going to do for a backup QB.
This is the same QB you benched for Mike White.
Yes, true. That is true. Louisiana Tech's own Mike White. Any other NFL games you want to talk about this week?
No, I'm gonna be watching my Steelers. Here's a thought though. Maybe they should trade for Jameis.
You already said they should have picked Jameis up in free agency.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it. You got Aaron. I'm not gonna say they should got him instead of Aaron.
Right.
But with things the way they are right now, I mean, their defense is ready.
Yeah.
Their defense is ready. So, yeah, you might want to upgrade that QB position.
I think they definitely are going to have to. I mean, this is the NFL. You don't let that defense that's playoff ready. I'll just say they're playoff ready.
Yeah.
And you don't want to not take advantage of a playoff ready defense because of a quarterback. So
don't worry. If there's no urgency this week, it will be after this week's game.
Oh, it definitely will be. It definitely will be. As a matter of fact, are the Giants looking to sign a veteran backup the way they made Daniel Jones look?
I told you, man.
Yeah, you did.
They'll be in the tank. Caleb Williams, man.
That's a lot of money to invest in a backup quarterback. That's all I got to say.
That's what they get. They knew better.
All right.
When you're good, 15 touchdowns and 5 picks, then yeah.
They did know better.
Mm-hmm.
I think, at some point, some team's going to have to stop the quarterback madness on the money. So I don't know who it's going to be because Tua's going to get paid, but obviously he shouldn't surpass Burrow. And then Mahomes got to get restructured. So we'll see. All right, I'm gonna let you go first on the Kobe LeBron debate. So I'm waiting for this big joker. What in your mind?
Okay, all right. So let's get all the foo cards out the way. Mm-hmm. So yes, 20 years, both players. LeBron has the better stats.
Yes.
More points, rebounds, assists, field goal percentage, even 3-point percentage.
Right. Different league, but then Kobe started in a different league.
True, but I mean, still, we're talking about a guard and basically a power forward.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron's got all his finals. He was MVP.
Mm-hmm.
He's only finals MVP in 1, wasn't he?
No, it's 2.
He got the 2.
The last 2. Yeah.
The last 2 after Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got all of that, and then LeBron is a great all-around player, except defensively, but we're not.
You'd be surprised at how many all-defensive teams LeBron made.
Yeah, it's half of what Kobe had.
He still made some. It's not like he didn't make any.
So the big joker is what you said at the end of the last podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe being respected and feared.
Mm.
LeBron is respected. I'm not saying LeBron's not respected. No, LeBron's respected, and everyone, even to this day, will consider him the best player in the game.
Yeah.
However, he's not feared. And we've seen him get torched, like on the biggest stage. And we also seen him pull Houdini acts and just disappear. Now, I'm not going to get on here and be like, Kobe was the man in every big game, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
No, he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But Kobe was trying.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe was trying. And we've clearly seen games where LeBron, I don't know, I'm not going to say he didn't care.
Mm-hmm.
He may have been trying to make a point like, this is crunch time. I'm going to show y'all what I'm working with here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. But we've seen the disappearing act. Now, LeBron is also, and no one will ever forget that Celtics game when he's like, no, I'm going to show y'all how dominant I am. And it
Right.
really doesn't matter who you have on the floor.
Right.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
Now, if we saw, I ain't even going to say more of that, but just that effort in those games, then my stuff would be different. But like, we're talking like greatness. The feared part plays a big part in that. And I don't think LeBron is feared.
You know, I think there was something like this going on last summer. They were talking about, you know, is LeBron feared? And to me, the greatest example that LeBron is feared is you win 73 games, you lose the finals, and you go get KD, who at the time was probably the second or third best player in the league, and say, come on, man, to beat this dude. Now, how can you say he's not feared? I got to go get KD.
Well, you can look at that a couple ways. One, if it's there, why not? I mean, what, Ferris Bueller?
You can get away with it.
if you have the means, by all means.
Right.
You know, yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen.
No.
But, I mean, hey.
Yeah, KD broke the code.
Yeah, if you want to come along for the ride, by all means.
Right.
So I wouldn't say that's a fear for LeBron, more of than
it was a fear that they couldn't beat LeBron, man. They didn't have enough. Harrison Barnes, they knew they didn't have enough.
I would say that they got wore out in that Western Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm. They did.
So when Draymond gets suspended,
yeah,
and they can't close out, and now this is dragging on,
right?
Yeah. Then now you're wearing down.
Plus, did Bogut get hurt in that series?
Yes. So you basically got this little team out here, and not only LeBron's the player he is, but now he's the biggest person on the court. Like, and it's not even close.
It wasn't fair.
So yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't say that was more the fear. That was fear, and I mean, even if it was, then KD was like, I'm not scared. I'm going to set you on fire. And that's another thing. So, I mean, the argument comes up like when they try to compare LeBron to Jordan about, because people be like, when it's time to shut somebody down, LeBron's not taking the challenge. And they'll be like, well, Pippen had that. He handled the other scorer. And then it's like, well, look at the fourth quarter and in crunch time, like who Jordan was on. And it was the same with Kobe. Like, if somebody was on fire, Kobe is like, no, let me have that. Let me extinguish that.
Yeah.
LeBron, I mean, when somebody came in and like, well, that one series he shut down Derrick Rose, and it's like, that's where you going with that? That's where you going with that? And it's like, okay.
Yeah, he's supposed to. He shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have said that out loud. He could have thought that one.
Yeah, I was just like, but and then it's like, okay, no, but KD was that was all you. That was you. Yes, he's taller.
I'm surprised you didn't go to Kawhi. Getting
No,
MVP.
I was gonna leave that alone. Like I was putting the low hanging fruit. Like, all right, Durant's taller, you can shoot over him. Da da da. I wasn't gonna bring out the dude who's the same size and everything.
I'm not gonna listen. I'm not gonna make excuses for LeBron's.
You don't have to. He's a great player.
The bottom line is, it's just like Patrick Beverly and the Clippers in that series. They're like, he's Kevin Durant. What are you gonna do with KD? It doesn't matter. That KD, that was an outlier. If you just gotta hope he's off. If he's on, it's over. You just, again, that's why some guys are professional athletes. Some guys are just straight better. You just tip your hat and say, you got me. But I'm going to say this about LeBron. You brought up all the statistical stuff. The fact that this dude is going to have 40,000 points, and he'll be the first to do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's got over 10,000 assists. He's got over 10,000 rebounds. Now, he got to get 4,000 rebounds to get to the top 10 in rebounds. But he's like fourth in assists all time.
Mm-hmm.
I just think I kind of made your argument. You kind of made my argument. The weight of expectations on LeBron, even though we had expectations for Kobe when he came out, Kobe was 6'6".
Yeah.
People thought Kobe was crazy for coming out of high school. You're 6'6", man. 6'6" guys don't do this. You know, it's the KGs, it's the 6'11", 7-footers
that can run. Yeah, not the 6'6". The league's already got a bunch of those.
Right. So the weight of expectation, even though Jerry West kind of pumped him up a little bit, but he didn't have what LeBron had. And then LeBron always had the shadow of Michael Jordan from his junior year in high school. He really had the shadow of Michael Jordan since he was called the chosen one.
But
he had
that shadow. Like anyone who was supposed to be next, it was like, oh, the next Jordan.
That's true.
Even Harold Miner had that.
We went through Penny. We went through Grant Hill. You know, we went through all those guys that were supposed to be the next. So Kobe was probably the closest, definitely mindset. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
And then Kobe was so maniacal.
He was a Jordan-like clone. That was
he made himself a Jordan clone.
Yes.
Like literally, you watch some moves. Yeah. It's exactly choreographed like Jordan.
Yeah.
But I just think
LeBron's Magic 2.0.
Right. That can score better than Magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, and he wins. I mean, here's the thing, too. Since when do we punish a guy for getting to the finals? I mean, 10 finals, that's kind of a lot.
He had a cakewalk to the finals, man.
A cakewalk. See, there you go. Cakewalk to the finals.
So like everybody's like, all the great players, LeBron played in the finals. And it's like, what about all the great players that Jordan kept from the finals?
Yeah, like, that's true.
On the way to the finals, Jordan was discarding these people.
True.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, and then, yeah, come on, man. Yeah, I'm not going with that. He had a cakewalk, and like you can talk about, he had to play all these players in the finals. Yeah, know why? He did, because he didn't eliminate them on the play. But I mean, it's still an accomplishment. It's still great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically an 8-year run. Like, yeah, man.
8 straight.
Yeah.
8 straight. So I don't know. To me, Kobe Stan's gonna be Kobe Stan's. There's no way you can convince a Kobe Stan that LeBron's better. LeBron Stan's gonna be LeBron Stan's.
I'm not even really a Kobe fan, but like I just look at stuff like, okay, there's the whole eyeball thing, and it's just like, no, when Kobe got there, it was, like he didn't start there. Like LeBron, he had the expectations day one, and he hit the ground running, and he's been doing it ever since. Yeah, that's definitely to be applauded. And like I always tell people, no, by all means, he can be in the team picture. He just can't be the guy in the middle holding the ball.
Let me say one last thing about LeBron. I think LeBron gets a bad rap because to me, LeBron makes the right basketball play. Now, if you look at Michael Jordan in 91, when Phil Jackson's looking at him and saying, who's open? Paxson, get him the ball. Phil had to basically teach Mike, hey, sometimes you got to make the basketball play. LeBron had that from the beginning, but he gets crucified for it because he's trying to make the right basketball play.
So,
and LeBron has taken plenty of final shots.
Oh no! I'm not saying
and hit them.
I'm not saying he hasn't. However, there are times, and I know you've seen this. There's times where, technically it's the best basketball play, but that's not where you put the game at.
No, I get it.
And like, and I didn't look at this, but like the whole Paxson thing and the Kerr thing, like, weren't they like tied? They weren't losing, were they?
Paxson,
I thought those were like
fourth quarter. They might have been in the lead. Paxson was just kind of salting the game. That might have been a tie game when he hit that.
Yeah, I'm thinking those were tie games. I don't think those were like, we're down and we need a bucket.
Right.
And I'm going to make this correct play. It's like, especially with Jordan and then Kobe too. It's like, no, if we're going down, it's going to be on my sword. And
the correct play is give me the ball.
Yes. It's going to be on me.
Play.
It's going to be on me. So, yeah.
I mean, Jordan had the best ending for a career if he just walked out in the sunset, walked out into the sunset with that shot over Brian Russell, but he came back and was a wizard. Hey, real quick, let me go over my 9 of my 10, and you tell me if Kobe should replace any of these 9 or should be the 10th. My greatest, I'm not going to put them in order. The 3 from the 60s and really I didn't watch these people live. Wilt Chamberlain statistically is the greatest basketball player to ever live. Statistically. Bill Russell is the greatest winner to ever live in the league. And then Oscar Robertson was just dope. So those are my 3. Those 3 stay.
Yeah.
Then you got Kareem, the former scoring champ. Obviously, Michael Jordan. Obviously, Magic. Okay, so now where am I? Is that 5?
No, it's 6.
Okay. Tim Duncan. Dream. Which a lot of people don't put Dream in the top 10, but I do.
Yeah.
And then my 9th is LeBron. So do I put Larry Bird in the top 10 or do I put Kobe?
And Shaq?
Shaq can't beat Dream.
Well, no, I'm with you on that one. And we all
Shaq
know
can't beat Dream.
But Yeah. So obviously Kobe's in LeBron's spot
For
for
you.
me.
So
So
you pushing Bron out the top 10 in the history of the
no.
league.
That would put him at 10.
Okay.
You got him at he's in your 9.
So are you putting Bird?
10.
You putting Bird ahead of Olajuwon?
No. No.
You putting Bird ahead of Duncan?
No. No.
Are you putting Bird in the top 10?
No.
Okay.
No. Which is crazy. I mean, it's funny, like, I grew up hating Bird, and then went until his back was broke that I had an appreciation for Bird. And now I'm like, no, you're not in the 10.
I have a hard time keeping Bird out because Magic and Bird are so linked.
Oh, yeah, no, they saved the league. They saved the league.
And Bird, the crazy thing about Bird is him telling people what he gonna do and then do it. I mean, that's a different level. I mean, I know there's trash talk, but when he said, "Okay, dude, don't worry about listening. This is what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go to this corner." I mean, that's crazy. I'm gonna go to this corner. I'm gonna catch it on you. I'm gonna shot fake. Then I'm gonna fade back and hit this 3 on you, and we win it. And you can't do nothing about it.
So all right. So basically, as far as game and game IQ, Bird and LeBron are the same. So
and Magic. I put Magic up there.
Yeah, Magic, yes. So, I mean, are you removing those two to put in Bird? Like, I mean, I have a newer appreciation for Bird, but I don't think I could do that, even though it's ridiculous as it sounds. And then there's the other like greats that we grew up on who are not on the list. And it's just like, no Doc. And it's like,
I know. And that's always a painful one to say.
Yeah, it's like blasphemous.
Dr. J was the league when we were growing up, it was Doc.
Yeah, but that was also the league that was finals was on tape delay.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm watching Sonic's Bullets at 11 o'clock at night.
Exactly. Right.
So Bird and Magic saved the league. Jordan took it to another level, and it is what it is now. But I would have to leave Bird out the 10. I would have to leave Bird out the 10.
Well, I just gave you 9, so I've been thinking about it. I'm like, Kobe's probably top 10. I mean, I probably can't get away with that. Kobe's probably top 10. To me, they're both probably top 10.
Yeah, but it's so many, man. It's so many.
It's so many. It's so many players that gave you joy that people never even heard of.
Yeah, well, that's a generational thing.
Yep.
It's a generational thing, but like there's Zeke, man. Zeke, man.
He doesn't get the respect he deserves.
Yeah, Zeke, man. Like no, I'm the little dude. I'm going to the hole in this league where you will get mugged. Like people have been arrested for less.
Yeah.
And Zeke, man.
Huh? Well, we're gonna have to continue this one as we go, but I think that's about it for this week. You got anything else?
Baseball playoffs, man. Playoff races.
Did you say baseball?
I did.
Do we mention baseball on this show?
No, we don't. So that's why we'll stick it here at the end, and nobody really. But it's coming up. I do watch playoff baseball.
Me too.
I will watch playoff baseball. It'll be interesting.
It's a tough one for me, man, because if Dusty's in it, then I gotta pull for the Astros. But the Braves, man,
they're doing something. But I mean, we know what playoffs is about. Like it don't matter how hot your bats are, pitching will douse that. So it's whoever's got the hot arms, and Dodgers still have arms. So that'll be interesting. Philly, we'll see if Atlanta ends up with Philly, and that'll be interesting. But yeah, and then Houston still in the AL, man. They're in and with the arms that they got.
Yeah. I
And
would take them over Baltimore right now.
Yeah. And they're tested. So yeah, that'll be a rough one. So, but you got a few weeks for that.
All right. Well, that's a show for another time. But until then, I'm Reg.
I'm Rob.
And that was the show.